Hello everyone, my name is Richard Batts. I am a biology teacher at Central York High School. This is my first teaching job. I just graduated from Kutztown University in May of 2016. Some of my hobbies include lifting. I competed in a powerlifting competition about 2 years ago, I believe. And from that competition, I currently hold 3 state records for that organization. I have the bench press, the squat, and the overall total records. All I missed was the deadlift, which I was close, but didn't quite get it. Um, my next hobby is football. I love football season. College football, I love Penn State. They had a great year this year. They're going to be better next year. And Dallas Cowboys fan. Cowboys all the way. As you can see there, I'm predicting that they'll win at least 2 Super Bowls in the next 5 years. If they don't, feel free to find me wherever I'm at and mock me, whatever you have to do. But I'm telling you, 2 Super Bowls, they got it. They have so much talent. My third bullet point down there, Gregor Mendel. He is hands down, without a doubt, my favorite scientist. If you don't know who Gregor Mendel is, you should look him up. He's also known as the father of genetics. Gregor Mendel, he discovered complete dominance studying the pea plants. Hopefully this is ringing a bell for some of you guys. I'm assuming you had to take biology at some time or another. When I taught about him to my class last semester, I actually told all my students I was going to be absent that day, and then came in dressed up like Gregor Mendel and told everyone they had to call me either Mr. Mendel or Gregor all day, which was awesome. Students enjoyed it. Students were a little more interested, and I enjoyed it also. In this slide, just a bunch of pictures about me. Top left is my girlfriend and I. Her name is Nicole. That is us visiting the Longwood Gardens. They're out near Philly area. They're really nice. If you ever get a chance, you should go check them out. Top right is at the powerlifting competition. Bottom right is, again, me and my girlfriend at Kutztown graduation. Bottom left is me at Lebanon Valley. Before I went to Kutztown, I was at Kutztown for 3 years. Before that, I was at Lebanon Valley for 2 years, where I played football. Loved it there, made a lot of good friends. However, just wasn't for me, I suppose, and transferred over to Kutztown, which I loved as well. In the middle is Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you have no idea who he is, then, shame on you, because he's in a ton of movies. Governor of California, kind of has done everything. So for me, life is continuously being hungry. The meaning of life is not simply to exist, to survive, but to move ahead, to go up, to achieve, to conquer. I love this quote. Whenever you feel like giving up, or whenever you feel like, throwing in the towel, you have to remind yourself, in order to be successful, you have to stay hungry. You have to keep trying to be more and more successful. I just love Arnold Schwarzenegger and everything that he is about. And that's kind of my favorite quote. Getting into the actual content of this module, my experiences in the online teaching. This is only the second grad class I've taken. The first one was 100% online. At Central York, they are a one-to-one classroom with iPads, which is kind of nice because we can interact, can do those online activities during the school day, and also do the flipped classroom settings when they're at home. I do like to record most of my lectures beforehand, and then have the students either watch them as a review or watch them before we come back into class as a flipped classroom setting, which I think is extremely beneficial, especially for biology, where there is a lot of content and there is a lot of material that they have to know. So being able to listen to the notes, the material over and over again, is extremely beneficial. So the first video clip, they said good teaching is good teaching whether it is online or in brick and mortar. 100% accurate. If you're a good teacher, you can teach in any type of setting. But my question that I would ask back would be, what makes a good teacher? Does 100% pass rate make you a good teacher? Does getting students excited about the topic make you a good teacher? Or does connecting with the students make you a good teacher? My last bullet there, if you're a good teacher, you'll find a way for the good teaching. I personally believe that honors AP students, anybody can teach those. Anybody with, the prior knowledge can teach those students the material. They want to learn, they're excited. It's the students who don't want to be there that will test if you're a good teacher or not. The students that could care less about biology, that you have to connect with them to get them excited. You have to find a way to relate it to them. And then, kind of a big one, hopefully have them pass. I think those combined make you a good teacher. So, is this an overgeneralization? Simple answer is no. It's not an overgeneralization. Good teaching is good teaching no matter what form it comes in, whether it's online or in a typical classroom setting. If you're a good teacher, you will find a way to get it done. You will find a way to get the material to the students, to get them excited, to connect with them. With the online, technology is here to stay. Whether some teachers like it or not, it's not going anywhere. So being a good teacher, who's able to utilize the online teaching is going to be essential for future of education. Not to say every school is going to be a cyber school, but every school is going to have that technology. There are going to be jobs in 10, 15, 20 years that don't exist right now based on the new technology. So as an educator, our job is to prepare the students to be citizens of the future. So they have to be able to utilize that technology as well. So no, I do not think that, good teaching is good teaching, no matter what form it's in, is an overgeneralization. So in the article, it talked about a couple different challenges of teaching online. A couple, the three here that I listed that I would like to know more about would be course content. It's said that online has little freedom on the content. However, my question or my statement back would be that so does the classroom. As a biology teacher, we have the keystones. So my curriculum is pretty much set, and I have to get through those keystone topics for them to be successful on the keystone, which I'm sure you guys are well aware that the sophomores this year need the keystones in order to graduate, unless that gets pushed back again, but I guess we'll find out in the upcoming months or years. So kind of the content and the curriculum kind of questions goes about with the online versus the brick and mortar type of classroom. Again, student issues, online versus in a classroom. Missing work, you're going to have that no matter what setting it is. But how do you get to that student who is missing the work when it's online? I mean, you can send them a message all the time, but it doesn't mean that they're going to, get that work in, which you can do the same thing in a classroom. But you get that physical connection where you can say, hey, Johnny, come on, man, you got to get this in. And then cheating is another aspect. How do you, if it's online, who's to say the students are actually learning it and not sitting there with a friend or with a iPad that has the answers pulled up on a different website? Or in a brick and mortar school, you can physically see how they're doing the tests, how they're doing the homework, how they're doing the classroom activities. And then these specific recommendations. It also said in there that the online instructors pretty much are limited to the resources that are provided by that curriculum. But my question is, why wouldn't they be able to use the outside resources and tools? If you are a good teacher, you're going to look for those outside tools and resources in order to better connect with students, in order to get the material across easier for the students. So that's kind of another thing that I'd be interested in learning more about. What advertised qualities of online schools fit with the INACL standards? So I kind of said standard C. Teachers plan, design, and incorporate strategies to encourage active learning. The K-12 online discussed individual learning plans to help encourage students at their own rates, which I think is important. Every student learns at a different rate, and I think that being able to differentiate for every student is essential for their success. In a classroom, you're going to have 20, 25, 30 students. You can differentiate all you want in those lessons. However, you may not reach each and every student. Whereas if you have your individual learning plans for each and every student, then you're going to customize their learning. Standard E, teacher model safe behavior related to technology use. again, technology is here to stay, so the students need to know how to use it and how to use it effectively. The commercial talked about certified and trained online instructors. Just as in the classroom, teachers had to be certified and how to go through training on, classroom management, and basically how to be an effective teacher, the online instructors, it said, had to go through training as well. They are kind of not necessarily forgetting what they were taught about in a classroom, but modifying it into being an online setting. Are there aspects that are emphasized that don't fit with the standards? The K-12 discusses the ability to do the classes at home or on campus. I realize this wouldn't be in with a standard. However, if it is online, would there be a campus present to go ask for help, or would it be more or less just that online communication? And also the individualized learning plans. I don't think there wasn't anything in the standards related to each individual learning plan that I think the commercials emphasized about. So that concludes my presentation. I look forward to listening to some of yours, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week and weekend.